With profound humble gratitude and love to all venerated enlightened masters, we bow to the Almighty in soulful gratefulness for gifting us with their holy blessed presence. May all beings be awakened by their divine grace.
Part 4 of 4.
Etc.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Нашите предавания предлагат много езици. Моля вижте suprememastertv.com/schedule.
The disorders of life and mind cease by discerning the secret of a more perfect order than the physical. Matter below life and mind contains in itself the balance between a perfect poise of tranquility and the action of an immeasurable energy. Please continue watching to hear more wisdom from Sri Aurobindo, vegetarian.
Vegan, though strong in faith.
Kind viewers, Abhivadan, which means greetings in Nepalese. I am Batsal. The warm-hearted people of Nepal praise your kind actions that bring joy to those around you. May your faith be ever strengthened in heaven's boundless love. Welcome to Man in the Universe, selections from the Life Divine by Sri Aurobindo, vegetarian. Part 2 of 2 on Words of Wisdom. India is the home of many great spiritual masters who have brought wisdom and truth to earth. Their lives and compassionate teachings inspire us to seek a higher purpose in life, thus uplifting humanity to a more divine state of being. One such great figure is the spiritual master, yogi, philosopher, poet, and politician, Sri Aurobindo, who graced our planet from 1872 to 1950. Sri Aurobindo's time as a politician was dedicated to achieving India's independence. However, after inner reflection, Sri Aurobindo retired from politics in service to his country. His aspirations turned instead toward the liberation of all humanity. Sri Aurobindo traveled to Pondicherry on the southeastern coast of India, where he retreated into the practice of silent yoga. Based on the inner knowledge revealed to him during his spiritual practice, Sri Aurobindo began publishing writings full of wisdom. Originally written by Sri Aurobindo, between 1914 and 1919, The Life Divine describes the spiritual journey that unfolds as a person sincerely seeks the highest truth. Such a journey leads to the soul's awakening and the direct experience of divinity. Today we continue to present to you excerpts of Chapter 6, Man in the Universe, from the book The Life Divine. Chapter 6, Man in the Universe. Out of life it struggles upward into mind, in which the unit becomes awake to itself and its world, and in that awakening, the universe gains the leverage it required for its supreme work. It gains self-conscious individuality. But mind takes up the work to continue, not to complete it. It is a laborer of acute but limited intelligence who takes the confused materials offered by life and, having improved, adapted, varied, classified according to his power, hands them over to the supreme artist of our divine manhood. That artist dwells in Supermind, for Supermind is Superman. Therefore, our world has yet to climb beyond mind to a higher principle, a higher status, a higher dynamism, in which universe and individual become aware of and possess that which they both are, and therefore stand explained to each other, in harmony with each other, unified. The disorders of life and mind cease by discerning the secret of a more perfect order than the physical. Matter below life and mind contains in itself the balance between a perfect poise of tranquility and the action of an immeasurable energy, but does not possess that which it contains. Its peace wears the dull mask of an obscure inertia, a sleep of unconsciousness, or rather of a drugged and imprisoned consciousness, driven by a force which is its real self, but whose sense it cannot yet seize nor share. It has not the awakened joy of its own harmonious energies. Life and mind awaken to the sense of this want in the form of a striving and seeking ignorance, and a troubled and baffled desire, which are the first steps towards self-knowledge and self-fulfillment. But where, then, is the kingdom of their self-fulfilling? It comes to them by the exceeding of themselves. Beyond life and mind, we recover consciously in its divine truth that which the balance of material nature grossly represented, a tranquility which is neither inertia nor a sealed trance of consciousness, but the concentration of an absolute force and an absolute self-awareness and an action of immeasurable energy, which is at the same time an out-thrilling of ineffable bliss, because its every act is the expression, not of a want and an ignorant straining, but of an absolute peace and self-mastery. In that attainment, our ignorance realizes the light of which it was a darkened or a partial reflection. Our desires cease in the plenitude and fulfillment towards which, even in their most brute material forms, they were an obscure and fallen aspiration. The universe and the individual are necessary to each other in their ascent. Always, indeed, they exist for each other and profit by each other. Universe is a diffusion of the divine, all in infinite space and time. The individual its concentration within limits of space and time. Universe seeks in infinite extension the divine totality it feels itself to be but cannot entirely realize. For in extension existence strives at a pluralistic sum of itself, which can neither be the primal nor the final unit, but only a recurring decimal without end or beginning. Therefore it creates in itself a self-conscious concentration of the all through which it can aspire. In the conscious individual, Prakriti, nature, turns back to perceive Purusha, spirit, world seeks after self. God having entirely become nature, nature seeks to become progressively God. On the other hand, it is by means of the universe that the individual is impelled to realize himself. Not only is it his foundation, his means, his field, the stuff of the divine work, but also, since the concentration of the universal life, which he is, takes place within limits, and is not like the intensive unity of Brahman, ultimate reality, free from all conception of bound and term, he must necessarily universalize and impersonalize himself in order to manifest the divine all, which is his reality. Yet is he called upon to preserve, even when he most extends himself in universality of consciousness, a mysterious transcendent something of which his sense of personality gives him an obscure and egoistic representation. Otherwise he has missed his goal, the problem set to him has not been solved, the divine work for which he accepted birth has not been done. The universe comes to the individual as life, a dynamism, the entire secret of which he has to master. and a mass of colliding results, a whirl of potential energies out of which he has to disengage some supreme order and some yet unrealized harmony. This is, after all, the real sense of man's progress. It is not merely a restatement, in slightly different terms, of what physical nature has already accomplished. Otherwise, any system or order which assured a tolerable well-being and a moderate mental satisfaction would have stayed our advance. The animal is satisfied with the modicum of necessity. The gods are content with their splendors. But man cannot rest permanently until he reaches some highest good. He is the greatest of living beings because he is the most discontented, because he feels most the pressure of limitations. He alone, perhaps, is capable of being seized by the divine frenzy for a remote ideal. For more information, please visit Sri Aurobindo ashram.org.
If an animal has any rights at all, it's got the right not to be eaten. Professor Gary L. Francione, vegan.
Wondrous viewers, thank you for joining us today for Words of Wisdom. Coming up next is
A Gentle Stroll in the Garden of Classical Music, Part 1 of 2.
Right after noteworthy news. May your prayers for inner truth be met with the blessings of heavenly wisdom and joy.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WOW.